Hello and welcome to Our Waking Dream. I'm your host, Coco Swanson. On this show, on this channel, each week, I go over a basic astrology theme, one theme or two that's moving through that week. And I explain it in a way that I hope, if you're a beginner or newish to astrology, it'll help you week by week start to effortlessly learn the language of astrology. It takes a suspension of thought, of analyzing things from our modern-ish, our perspective these days to understand living language of metaphor. How are the stars and the planets impacting us internally and in our lives? A base of our waking dream, it's inherent in the title, is that this physical reality we're in, the very nuts and bolts, like my relationships, my job, my body, are greatly influenced by the unseen realms, the energetic realms. So as within, so without. That's another way of saying this, that if I'm experiencing struggle internally, there's a likelihood I'll be experiencing struggle externally. That this reality that I'm living is a mirror of my subconscious programming, my beliefs. And astrology is a fantastically accurate tool to point to the themes that are moving on within your life and within the world, to help you focus, it helps. Astrology is a tool to help myself and my clients and my friends focus. Where should our focus be? Not should, but where could it have the most impact? And where can I place the focus of my practices, my meditations, my somatic releases, my journaling, my awareness, in order to really actualize the potential of the time we're in? So I'm a spiritual strategist, long-time seeker. And if you're here, I assume that you're also really sensitive, or you probably wouldn't have listened this long, and that you might be feeling the feels, but not knowing why. And astrology helps point to the why and to the, well, what's next? How can I help mobilize? How can I help deepen and wisen during this time? So we've got a full moon tomorrow, October 6th, 2025. And a full moon is when the sun and the moon are in opposition. So they're holding opposite spots on the zodiac. If you think of anything in opposition, especially when we're talking about an Aries full moon, because an Aries is opposing Libra. And Libra is all about peace, harmony, relationships. It's about listening. It's about speaking. It's about sharing and harmonizing. Aries, on the other hand, it's the first sign in the zodiac. It's I am here. It is a very present moment, it's self-consumed by the nature of life consuming itself. It's the fire of life. It's quick to act. It's a leader, a trailblazer, but it's also a sign of war. So we have peace and war in an Aries full moon because we have the opposites. In every full moon, the sun is opposing the moon. So when we have, say, a new moon, that's at the beginning, it's the quiet, it's the dark of the night. It's where we go and we plant seeds. We're internal. Full moons, we're out howling at the moon. We're illuminating. So if you think metaphor, it's the embodiment of the story within the zodiac. Zodiac are the signs. Okay, so we have an illuminating full moon tomorrow. It's October 6th, depending on where you're at. It might be October 7th if you're in Europe or Asia. This is, I'm West Coast, USA. So that's where my timeline is that I look through while I'm here. I do travel a bit. And so I haven't in the creation of this, but my timeline might start shifting. So you can adjust for your timeline. We look at what else is happening during the full moon, and we have Mercury, the planet of communication, perception, how we're listening, how we're expressing ourselves. That's that if you can think of Mercury, and then we think of Libra, who's also, that's a sign, the sign that's expression, it's listening, it's peace, they're both communicative, right? Mercury is the planet of communication, and inherent in Libra is listening, balancing, harmonizing with another. Yet what we've got is, if we're just talking about Mercury and Libra, that's one thing, but Mercury is in the first signs of Scorpio, intense. Scorpio is an intense alchemical, like it's where we go to we go to alchemize and transform through our passion, through our sensuality, through our sexuality, through our magic, through all of the practices. A lot of the practices I teach are alchemical practices, how we change from one internal state to another internal state. And that transformation creates change externally, think inside out. So Mercury's in Scorpio, and I bring it up because it's squaring on this full moon. It's squaring Pluto, by far, I think, one, if not the most intense sign, a planet in the zodiac that's all about deep transformational. It's one of Pluto's zodiac signs is Scorpio. Scorpio, intensity. Pluto, intense, deep shadow work, cleaning out the closets. If it's moving retrograde, it's even more revisiting all the intense patterns, skeletons in our closet. Intense, right? So we're like, yay, we've got a full moon in Aries. And then we're like, whoa there, Aries. Whoa there, Pluto. Whoa there, squares, oppositions. That's intense. So this might be an intense full moon. What do we do in intensity? Well, first, how are you? It's tomorrow. You might be feeling it. And essentially, with this, each transit I talk about, every placement I talk about each week of the moon and the sun and the planets and the zodiacs, it might hit your chart in a really big way, and it might not. And you'll know so by how intense it feels internally and what's going on in your life. Also, I found, I think it's about 100%. Yeah, I can't think of anyone who, if you're sensitive to the zodiac, you're also pretty sensitive in general. Some folks just kind of roll with the punches. That's not me as much. I feel everything. And if you're here, I imagine you're really, really feeling. So what are you feeling? And on this week, this day, it's this day into tomorrow, on the 6th of October, what is up that feels like, so where is conflict? Where is war? In you, in the world. Like what really is getting you about conflictual energy where there's not peace. So I always enter into the opposite of the zodiac. So if we're talking about peace, and if Aries is about the first burst of light and authenticity and leadership, in its detriment, it's about war. It's about burning things down. That's Aries in its detriment. If we have Libra, it's about a stifled voice. It's about discord when things don't feel good and harmonious. Pluto in Aquarius would mean where are some ethics in the shadow level, and the wounding shadow usually is found over there in that person, in that ideology that they're embodying. That's like, it's like nails on chalkboard or gross when somebody's being unethical, not considering the good of all. Because in its glory, Aquarius is we the people, for the people, creating ethics and ideologies that withstand the test of time. So we look at these opposites. So what's feeling conflictual, that it's too much war, feisty, fiery? And that is the area of focus for your full moon. I do a little shrug. For those of you on podcast, you won't be able to see my little body motions, but the shrug is, that is astrology. And for me, that's it. We look at the theme and then we say, where is that affecting me or my world or you? If I'm in service to you as a client or a friend or a student, where is that affecting you? And what can I do to claim authorship, authority, sovereignty in the patterns that I'm experiencing? I find that I can claim authorship in things that belong to me. So if I claim this whole mess, say I'm in a conflict, or say I'm really irked I'm like really, really bothered by some of the conflict in the world, or say that there's somebody that's exceptionally unethical, that's a neighbor or a friend, well, if I claim it as my waking dream, 0 point, that it's not that I'm needing to change you, it's what you embody in my life, I have the power to transform anything I claim authorship of. I claim this whole world's dysfunction. If I say that, I have the power to transform the whole world's dysfunction at a soul level, energetic level. What do you feel powerless within that you wish you had the power to transform? And what if through the claiming of the whole situation, you do? So that's step number 1 I suggest this week on this full moon in Aries with Mercury squaring Pluto, is that you take a look at the conflict, the war, the dissonance in your life and the world, and this place from a place of spirituality, of centered soul reality, that I claim that as something that I can transform. My shadow, which means how you or those people over there are acting, I can claim, and then I transform at a soul's level. I'm not like getting in your space or anything and transforming you. I'm transforming my reality. I have the power to transform my ideology, my soul's patterns, my skeletons in my closet. And when I claim that for us at a collective level, that I'm transforming war for us through something as simple as my breath or a full body shakedown, which is practice number 2 that I suggest, that I'm clearer and more peaceful from it, and that we are. That it's both and. I and we. My inner work affects us. And that's one of the base principles of my work, is looking at how when I change and really heal, transform, come to peace, that we change. It's inevitable. So number 1 is to claim the intensity, claim what's up for you, and so that you have the power to transform it at a soul energetic level. Step 2, practices I suggest for fiery, big transformation. Ujjayi breath. It's a yogic breath. You breathe in by your nose, out by either your nose or your throat, and you make a little sound like this.